All right, welcome to, I guess this is episode 3 of the Sports by Schmucks podcast. We are, for the first time, doing this on YouTube, so welcome to that. We'll post the links to our old ones in the comments section, and we'll start off, I guess. I'll invite you guys to completely tear apart our MLB predictions as I welcome Sean.
Very hard.
Yeah, as you hear Sean McDermott's voice. Obviously, things haven't gone as we thought they would.
Especially in the AL East.
Actually, pretty much all the divisions when you actually look at it. Because Kieran was there for that one. He's not here tonight. But
maybe he'll just join us later.
Maybe. Probably not.
Probably not.
Don't get their hopes up. Anyways, yeah, we had the only ones that we have right now in the AL. We have the Tigers winning the AL Central and
Shocker.
The Rangers holding down a wild card spot. So, I guess since we're Canadian, let's start with this one. What went wrong for the Blue Jays, or what's going wrong for the Blue Jays?
I think the easier question to answer would be what has gone right for the Blue Jays.
4 All-Stars.
We got 4 All-Stars and they're still in last place in the division. How the heck's that work? But the only saving grace of the Blue Jays so far has been the bullpen.
I know. That's the best. They were terrible.
I can't think of anything else. The outfield, other than Batista, wasn't Melky really done other than having a pretty decent May?
Well, he's been injured.
Oh, that too. And
that's the problem.
He's off the roids.
It's very hard to. And when we did this in March to do the preview of it, we talked about the potential dominance of the starting 5, with Romero being our ace from last year, potentially being our 5th starter. And now he's starting to turn around a bit in Buffalo.
But he's still in Buffalo.
Brandon Morrow has been
injured. Jay Happ's been almost decapitated.
But okay, he was pitching very well.
Yeah, he's pitching very well before.
That was very unfortunate. And but yeah, nothing really. Johnson only has, correct me if I'm wrong, he only has 1 win at this point.
I think he's got 2, but he's got no run support.
Yeah, he's like 1. He has 1 and 2. He has like 3 decisions in the middle of July.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not good.
And who else? They've been trotting out Cheng-Ming Wang. Either way,
yeah,
he should not be pitching for this team.
He should not be pitching in the major leagues.
I wouldn't put it that far.
I don't know.
There's some pretty terrible pitchers out there.
I guess, but I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that hasn't been working for us. We lost our emotional leader, Jose Reyes, for 3 months.
No, I'm pretty sure you mean Minenori Kawasaki.
Look, I'm talking about the team's emotional leader, not the fans' emotional leader. And
sorry.
We'll get to this when we talk about who the Raptors signed in the NBA, but Toronto loves that
lovable loser.
They're not good. They're not very good players, but they go out there, they
give it their all,
and they have all this heart, and they just embrace them. And it's been that way for as long. Like Kelly Gruber was embraced, Ed Sprague was embraced, just players like that. I know that's just like 2 examples from
heart and hustle. Is
exactly. We just love it. And granted, I love Kawasaki's his antics too, but when they sent him down to make room for Jose Reyes and everyone was crying about it, I was like, guys, it's Jose Reyes.
You're kind of upgrading there a little bit.
It's not like we're sending Kawasaki down just for the hell of it. We're getting an all-star shortstop back, who is the spark plug of our offense.
Yeah.
Before he went down.
Oh, Josh Johnson. Sorry, just looking up the numbers. 1-5 with a 5.16 ERA.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just it's gross.
No, it's very gross.
That hurts to look at.
But you know what? Maybe we can afford to re-sign him now, or I shouldn't say we. Maybe the Jays can afford to re-sign him now.
Well, he better be taking a pay cut for that kind of stuff. But he hasn't been getting any run support as well. So.
No, I know he hasn't been getting run support, but
when you give up 5 runs a game. You better cut that down pretty darn quick.
Oh yeah, that's true, for sure. But you know what? I don't want to spend a lot of time on the Jays because of how terrible
they've been.
It's kind of depressing me because I had such high hopes for the team.
I think we all did.
And well, the entire city did. I mean, you see, like, it's been building for the last probably 3 years. It's kind of been cool to be a Jays fan again. And then when they put out the redesigned jersey, you see those hats and jerseys and T-shirts all around Toronto, the GTA,
Yeah.
even like in Hamilton and stuff. And they've done a great job spreading the brand across Canada, but now they just need that
The
team to
results.
back it up.
Yeah.
All right, so then let's go to the rest of the league, and I'm gonna toot my own horn for a second, not about my pick of the Royals, which hasn't really they haven't been awful, the Royals.
Not as they're what 43 and 49, which
Yeah.
for the Royals is a success.
Exactly.
They're better than Minnesota and Chicago.
They're not the worst team in the division, which they're
Normally have been.
exactly. But I called out the Pittsburgh Pirates. I said there'd be a wild card team. Right now they're holding on the top wild card spot, so I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one.
I give all the credit to Travis Snyder.
Lunchbox.
Lunchbox getting it done down there.
Yeah. Oh, if he's spreading his diet to the rest of the team.
Yeah. Getting some of those ribs in Andrew McCutchen.
I don't know what it is, but they've just been doing very well so far this year.
Very underrated young team.
Yes.
And the pitching, they got some pretty decent pitchers there. AJ Burnett, who couldn't do anything in Toronto,
No.
is just a stud down there. But that's the National League for you.
It is the National League. But hey, let's focus. Let's actually let's talk a bit more about the National League. You had the Braves. They're currently holding down the top spot in the AL East. We're kind of
I thought when I thought the predictions, I thought it'd be Washington first, Atlanta second. They flipped flop, so either way, taking.
Well, Washington was hurt a lot by Harper being down for a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
that injury hurt him for a while.
He was on a torrid pace to start the season. He was just raking out there, and then he went out, and that was a huge part of their offense. And Atlanta kind of got out to that, what was it, like 12-1 start?
Something like that.
Yeah. And, they've just been riding that lead so far. And now, let's see how they respond now, because I think Upton got hurt. Both Uptons got hurt.
Oh, the entire outfield.
Yeah, I was going to say, and
Jason Hayward.
Thank you. I blanked on his name for a second.
No worries.
Yeah, now that they're all out, it'll be interesting to see what they respond with. I mean, do they still have Reed Johnson? Because that would be probably one of their starting outfielders then.
I think he is still on the roster. Give me a second. I'll give it a check.
All right.
Sorry, give me a second.
Well, you double check that. That's just, the Braves are just one of those models of consistency. They're always in or around that top of the division, always in the race near the end for a wild card or for the NL East crown. So you got to give them some props for that.
Yep, and Reed Johnson is on the roster.
Nice.
So
he's their probably starting right fielder or left.
Well, certainly they have 5 outfielders on the roster right now. He's their starting everything.
Yeah, they're gonna employ the 2 outfielder.
Yeah.
And try doing that.
Go the 5 infielders.
Yeah.
How about the West? Arizona? Who would have picked Arizona over the Dodgers?
We had Kieran pick the D-backs to potentially get to the wild card. He was kind of unsure which it'd be the Giants or the D-backs, but
that is true. The Dodgers still have they're still 500, and they have the superstar in the making, Yasiel Puig.
Yes, he's been here for a cup of coffee, and everyone already wants to put him in Cooperstown.
Hey, the way he started off, you can't blame him.
Yeah, I can.
Well, I know it's a little
it's such a small
so far,
sample size.
I know.
I know we all went crazy for Mike Trout, but Mike Trout held it out for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Plus,
but hey, you gotta start somewhere.
I know you gotta start somewhere, but it's gonna be very we saw. I know Posey was behind the plate. I forget who was pitching for the Giants, but they just embarrassed Puig that one day.
Everyone has an off day.
Posey was literally set up two strides to his right of home plate, and Puig still swung on a third strike. He has no plate discipline, but when he
either do any of the Blue Jays.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, no more Blue Jays talk. Let's get out of the Blue Jays.
I know. Just want to make one more fun of them.
Okay. Anyways, So yeah, it shows he is still young, but come on, like he's not. We can't crown him yet.
Can't crown his ass, as Danny Green would say.
Exactly.
Although after 38 games, 8 home runs, 19 RBIs, and pretty much 400 average.
Yeah,
Kid's off to a good start.
he is. I picked the Giants because I was hoping for a big, for my prediction's sake, a big bounce back year from Timmy.
Teber. Oh, he did just throw a no hitter, so
100 and what was it? Almost 150 pitches.
he Dusty Bakered him pretty much.
Yeah, but I'm clearly wrong with that Giants prediction.
Hey, there's still entire half of almost 80 games to go.
Yeah, I
A
know.
lot of things can happen.
They're 9.5 back of the wild card. So they have to jump Colorado. They have to jump the Dodgers. They have to
Pittsburgh,
they have to jump
Cincinnati. They got a lot of
Washington and Philly as well.
yeah.
And I mean the Pirates can still catch St. Louis for the division lead. So that's another team. We kind of at least I did. I can't speak for you. I just always forget about St. Louis.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's just one of those teams they're going to be there, so why even hype them
Yeah,
up? They're going to be there in the playoffs at the end.
yeah,
I thought Cincinnati would have they still had a great season. Don't get me wrong, but I thought they'd be where St. Louis is and vice versa.
yeah.
But St. Louis, you can't count them out.
No,
They lose superstars. They just replace them with other guys who may not be as big of names, and they just keep the train rolling. They're like Atlanta back in the '90s. They just keep winning. They just make the playoffs.
yeah. And you know what? Good for them.
Yeah, they deserve a good team.
They do.
So, let's head back to the American League. We didn't really touch too much on my pick of the Cleveland.
No, yeah. After I tooted my horn about the Pirates, you should talk about your Cleveland Indians.
I don't know about my Cleveland Indians, but yeah, they've had a great season so far, especially in that Central. They aren't that far back in the wild card. They could still strike even on Detroit because they're not even that far back. They're a game and a half back to Detroit, and Detroit's got a lot better of a lineup than Cleveland does. Justin Masterson.
Yeah, masterful.
Thank you. Took the words right out of my mouth. I told everyone that I knew, especially for fantasy wise, people that had him sitting there on the waiver. I was like, "Are you crazy? This guy's a stud."
He was still on the waiver wire in some of your fantasy leagues?
No. Friends.
Oh, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Leagues are
No.
How can I get in them?
Yeah. I actually not even playing fantasy baseball this year, surprisingly. But
technically am. I was in a draft and then I missed the draft, so I just didn't care.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
If money's not on the line, it doesn't matter.
I looked at my team and I was like, all right, and I just haven't said it.
So you're probably in last place. Well, either last or first. I'm not sure.
I'll check on that as we continue this conversation.
But yeah, Cleveland's been surprised team. Who else? Angels. Mike Trout hadn't had the slump that I thought he'd had, but him or Harper. But the LA Angels, I think they'll turn it around in the second half.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna catch up to Oakland though. Maybe outside chance, just fringe chance of a wild card push, because the Angels always heat up around after the All-Star break.
No, yeah, that's true. They're not.
They just need the pitching to get healthy.
They are 9 games. They're 9 games back, but the teams in front of them, like Tampa, Baltimore, New York,
Toronto,
pretty much the entire AL East is in
pretty
front.
much.
And then you've got Cleveland in there too. So
it's possible.
It's
possible,
possible,
they have to beat up on the punching bag of Houston.
It pretty much means that the entire AL East would have to falter.
Which it's possible.
No, I'm not saying it's not possible, but I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt they can do it. I think they'll start picking up some more wins now.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll make it, but I think they'll make a push.
Yeah.
As long as Oakland doesn't falter, which I don't think they will. They got a pretty solid young team. Texas isn't going anywhere. They're Texas. Cleveland, if they can keep steam going, I think they could pass Detroit to win that division. And I'm surprised Boston's in first.
Me too.
That's the biggest shock to me. I thought, okay, maybe you can get Tampa in first because they're just Tampa. You just never know. Baltimore with Chris Davis. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
What can you say about Chris Davis? Just a pitch to the guy.
Before we do that, I'll say my fantasy update. I am an 8th of 8. I am 10 games back of the 7th place team, 47.5 games back of the lead. of
So
the.
doing pretty well, I guess.
I'm doing remarkably well because I haven't looked at it at all. So
In what,
to the
3 months?
pretty much to the members of Hamilton 2013, that Yahoo Sports League, Grand Theft Auto apologizes for his lack of attendance to the team.
I'm sure they'll be listening to this podcast.
I'm sure they will.
You'll have to link down that page now that you're paying attention again.
Exactly. But now I'm still not going to be paying attention to this team. I mean, theoretically, like I've got some decent names. Like I got David Wright, I got McCutcheon, Carlos Gonzalez, Josh Hamilton, who's, who
Started slow, but
exactly
slowly coming around.
Alex Gordon, Kung Fu Panda, Jay Bruce. I don't know what it is. Oh,
I'm assuming pitching.
Wainwright, Sabathia, Medlin, Putz, Street, Samardzija, Lincecum, Parker, Betancourt.
That's actually not that bad pitching either.
I know.
Maybe you're just not playing because you're not playing them.
It's possible, but those are my only 9 pitchers out of 9 pitchers that we have. So I don't rotate at all. I just let them go.
Oh, I don't know. It's not a bad looking team.
I know. I think it just comes down to the fact that I haven't done anything. Like it got to a point. Like I'll tell you how bad it is. I still have Jeter on the DL, but then again he's sitting right back there anyways.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh well.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a lost opportunity. I've been getting the invites for fantasy football right now. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of that, if you want to join, we have a league available.
I don't know how I feel about that yet.
I think you should probably join.
Well, when you put it like that, maybe I will. I probably won't. Anyways, I don't know what it is. I just don't like fantasy football.
You're a purist.
I just like watching the games.
You like cheering for your Buffalo Bills and hoping they win a game without blowing it in a terrible, horrendous fashion.
And see that? Well, okay, well let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's gonna happen anyways. But
I know it's gonna happen.
Anytime you see a fantasy football like matchup or preview show, it's like, who's playing the Bills this week? Which running back is it? Oh, they're gonna have a big week. I'm like, that hurts my soul. That if I have a running back and I'm like, oh, he's playing Buffalo. I know he's probably gonna have a big week, but I really want the Bills to stop him so they'll win.
And that usually doesn't happen.
It normally doesn't happen. So it's like one of those things that I can feel good that my fantasy matchup went well, but it's terrible because I'm like, well, I just cheered against my own team and it's hard.
It happens. We should probably get the football topic. That'll be a podcast for later on.
Yes, and you had some very successful, well-received draft previews and division previews so far. I think we have the.
I'm still in the NFC East.
Yeah,
work has been crazy, so I'm off tomorrow, so that'll be my priority.
Yeah, we had the other 3 divisions up, I believe.
2. This would be the third coming up.
You haven't done the North yet.
No, that'll be I'll do that Saturday. That'll be my Saturday job to do.
Yes, I can see it. The progress of your NFC East blog as we speak.
Yep. Pretty sure I did.
You started off with the Cowboys.
That's it. I think the Giants are up next on the list. Like I'm just doing alphabetical order. So
what do you think of Crew? Actually, I wanted to ask you this before we got sidetracked with this fantasy talk. Yasiel Puig, would you have picked him as an All-Star?
No.
Okay, we're both on no for that one then.
There's too many other players that deserved it over him. Sure, he had a great start, as I said, but
yeah,
you gotta give him more time. There's players that have been there longer that deserve that spot more.
Oh, yeah, well, I completely agree.
Like Freddie Freeman.
Yes, and that actually reminded me of another question. After I was watching PTI on ESPN, how they were condemning the Blue Jays and Braves for teaming up to get votes for the final vote in the MLB All-Star Game. What is your feeling on that? Because I honestly don't see a problem with it, especially when a player like Freeman has had a very, very good year, and Delabar has been a solid reliever for the Blue Jays. So I don't see any problems for saying, hey, if we're going to be voting for Delabar in the American League, why don't you just make it the Braves player, or vice versa?
My thoughts on that are Wilbon and Kornheiser are old, decrepit men who don't like any sports technology from this era. Like the Dodgers and another team, I can't remember who they teamed up with for the AL vote. Like teamed up like really late. Well, waiting on the bandwagon there, guys.
Yeah, I mean, and like seriously, like they were just too busy slurping Yasiel Puig that they were just like any way they could get him into the All-Star game, they wanted to.
Oh God, yes.
And
I hate that show. They're just those guys are just too old to be talking about sports now. Their views are so dated.
I don't know. I like Kornheiser. Kornheiser's good.
Don't get me wrong. They amuse me sometimes, but their views on sports, especially when it drives me nuts.
Wilbon,
Especially when it comes to hockey,
Wilbon. Oh, when they talk about hockey,
it offends your senses.
no, like when they talk about hockey, they don't talk about hockey. It's normally in that final rundown, and Wilbon's like, the Blackhawks are gonna win again, and that's it.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of hockey, the NHL free agency and draft just happened.
Yes.
Big signings from the Leafs.
Yes.
Big signings, big happenings in Ottawa.
Yes.
A big trade with Anaheim. Oh, players going back to the KHL.
Yes.
Players going to retiring. Oh, what a crazy offseason it was.
It has been.
What's your opinion? Well, let's hear your opinions on the Leafs trades and signings.
Okay.
Mr. Smith.
Bernier, I love. We gave up. I like Fradin, but
he's a third liner at best.
Exactly. To get Bernier, like I wrote about it on the blog, but to get Bernier for the price of our backup
goaltender, a third liner, and a second pick means nothing in hockey.
And the only reason he was our backup goalie is because we didn't sign a veteran to back up Reimer this year.
Bingo.
Because we couldn't get one. So he's an AHL starting goalie. For a 24, I want to say.
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s. With all the potential in the world. He's got the pedigree of being he won awards in the AHL for best outstanding goalie in 2010. I believe that's what I read. He won a World Junior medal with the gold medal with with Team Canada.
Yep.
I mean, he's done a lot, and he played pretty well when they were still kind of battling before Quick kind of took over and had that remarkable playoff run. They were kind of splitting starts.
Yeah.
It wasn't sold on Quick yet, and then Quick just kind of took over. So, I mean, it's going to be a great opportunity for Bernier, who admittedly on Toronto radio said he hated playing in Los Angeles because he was just a backup.
Which he might still be here because Reimer, that's going to be a split competition.
That's
going to be a good shot.
Competition, but realistically, I see Bernier take like the quality of goaltender that we're getting with Bernier. I see him eventually winning out the battle with Reimer. And hey, you know what? If Reimer wins out the battle, then we've got a great 1A 1B situation.
I was just about to say this is going to sound very Leaf fanish, but it's going to be like a Chicago situation. We just ride the hot hand. We have Corey Crawford and Ray Emery. There's times where Ray Emery was just on fire and Corey Crawford wouldn't even look at the ice.
Well, Ray Emery finished 17-1 for the year, or something ridiculous like that.
Now he's starting in Philadelphia. So
yeah, well, possibly. And
he's starting in Philadelphia.
No, they're high on Mason. We might not be, but they are. And Mason, again, another goalie with pedigree. He just
just to say, he was 17-1 with a 1.94 ERA.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Anyway,
Joe goals against average.
but back to Mason. He's got the pedigree, and the only reason the Blue Jackets made the playoffs that one year they made the playoffs was because of Steve Mason.
Because he put the team on.
He put the team on his back. He just has to regain that form, and maybe Philly's not the right spot for it, but I can see them giving him a lot of starts there.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about the big signings?
Are we going to start with? Do you want me to start with Toronto? Since it's.
Oh yeah. Since I just mentioned them.
So, Clarkson, I'm fine with the money because somebody else was going to give it to him anyways, and the Leafs had cap space to work with.
And how?
The length, he's 29, giving him a 7-year deal.
There's no way he plays well through that entire contract.
No, and I know I think he has a limited no trade, but he has a no movement, so we can't even send him down to the minors. Sorry, I keep saying we. I gotta get out of that. I've grown up a Leaf fan. Anyways, I don't care. I'm talking. This is me as a fan right now.
Yeah.
We give him a no
We
movement.
the
And then
people.
we the people. Oh God. Uh, we gave him a no movement. So later in his career, even if he starts sucking terribly, we can't even just bury his money in the minors with all the money that we have, like we did with Commissaric. Now, as for Bozak, I'm fine as long as it helps sign Kessel, who they're
Yeah, I
best.
think that's the big thing in there.
Yeah, they're BFFs.
Giving him a security blanket.
Yeah, and I'm not. I guess I'm alright with. I think it was 4.2,
4.2.
but that was after hearing he wanted 8 years, 5 mil. So
I think that was just put out there by his agent or some crazy person.
yeah,
Because no way Bozak was maybe you give him 8 years at like 3.5 million. I'd be fine with
yeah,
just for like security or
yeah,
something like that. But there was no way he was getting 5 mil 8 year. Like that's elite. That's not that's elite money. That's like not Crosby money, but
yeah.
that's borderline all star always there for like
Yeah,
guy,
no, for sure.
not Tyler Bozak.
Not Tyler Bozak for sure. Like the contract that Patrice Bergeron got in Boston, which I think was 8 years and
Yeah, that was
just
crazy.
over just under 7, I
It
believe.
was doesn't say on here, but yeah, it
Because
was a lot of cheddar.
I know it was less money than what Rask got. I remember that, and Rask got a full 7. So um, I'm looking.
I'll look it up. Don't you worry your pretty head, sir. I got it.
Okay. Anyways, like the money that Bergeron got, he absolutely deserved.
Yeah,
But
8 year contract doesn't really say on his.
all right. Well, anyways, he got an 8-year deal, but Bergeron deserves it. Like that's the type of player you lock up for 8 years, because
Yeah,
if he doesn't have the offensive numbers, you know he's gonna be like 90% in the faceoff circle.
yeah. You know he's two way. He's going both ways.
Exactly, and that's the type of player that you want to lock up for 8 years and with a big contract. Now Rask getting $7 million, being tied for highest paid goalie in the league. I mean, he's had one playoff series. He's had one
Yeah,
playoff run. The last time he was in the playoffs as the starter, they dropped a 3-0 series lead to the Flyers in the first round. I mean, it's a lot of money tied up in a goalie who's had 1 year. They did
yeah.
it like LA did it with Quick, and Quick has shown once he got fully recovered from his back surgery earlier this year that he can continue to play at that level as he won that series against the Blues for the Kings.
Pretty much.
So I had no problem with that, but Bozak at Bozak at 5 would have been ridiculous. 4.2 I can live with.
No, I can agree. I agree with that.
Okay.
What about the big trade or big signing in Ottawa? Big trade and signing in Ottawa, or lack thereof signing in Ottawa.
I have no problem with Daniel Alfredson leaving.
Thank you. I completely agree to that.
And back when I was in school, and that sounds like it was a long time ago. This past year when I was in Belleville, I met a lot of Ottawa fans, and the majority of them are saying the same thing that I'm going to say now. Thank you for your service. We know you want to win a cup, and you're not going to win one here this year.
Yeah,
We have no problem with you leaving for Detroit. Thank you for your service.
pretty much.
That's the attitude that I would have, because you know what? He did give it all. He didn't make any promises to return.
Nope. He didn't LeBron him.
He didn't Sundin them.
Yeah.
I'm
Didn't
still
home
bitter.
hostage.
I'm still bitter about the Sundin one, as you can tell. But you know what? It was probably time that they moved on.
Yeah.
If I
No,
was,
I agree.
if I and picking up Bobby Ryan,
That yeah,
fantastic.
you upgraded. Well, you
Fantastic.
lose a couple good prospects, but you upgrade.
You do lose a couple talented prospects, but look, Bobby Ryan is. I think he was
Proven.
2 years ago. Was a 40 goal scorer.
Yep.
He has more goals than like the last 3 years combined than Alfredson does. You're getting an upgrade offensively. And
It's kind of like this deal is very similar to the Sagan Toronto with Kessel deal. It's very similar to that 'cause you're getting very similar players with Ryan and Kessel. They're
kind
both
of,
they're
but
both
well,
you're getting a better defensive player than Bobby Ryan, I'd say.
yes,
But
with Toronto,
just what you're giving up. You're giving up 2 good prospects
Yes.
and
But
another pick.
remember, Toronto gave up the picks. It wasn't the prospects. The Kessel trade wasn't supposed to land the Leafs at this what would have been the second overall pick that year.
And speaking of that, Tyler Seguin, not even in Boston anymore.
Yeah, and that's going to work out great for both teams.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think that? Because Seguin is not a third line center. He is
That is true.
He is in your top 6.
That's true.
And Eriksson will be a great fit to replace Horton on the wing. He is a fantastic goal scorer. The Stars not only did they add Seguin, but they add Rich Peverley too, who is a great two-way forward.
Yeah, that was a good pickup.
For the bottom 6 and the PK, so he'll be a great addition. But Seguin needed a fresh start. He wasn't going to go anywhere in Boston because they've got Krejci and they got Bergeron on the top 2 center spots.
Yeah.
He's not going to overtake either of them unless one of them gets hurt.
Yeah.
And
or cap hit too much and they have to pick up salary or something like that.
But Seguin already signed his big extension to gave him like a $6 million cap hit. So that's why he got moved. They couldn't afford him and he was expendable. It's going to work out great for both teams. He being in Dallas might even help him because he won't be such a crazy off ice person, or it might be as publicized because there's all the stories back in the lockout when he was
drinking and partying.
Yeah, and apparently didn't know how to clean his apartment when he was in Switzerland. So I don't know. It's gonna be great for both teams though, I think. And Dallas will. I'm gonna say it now before actually looking over roster and stuff like that because I'll probably do an NHL preview later, closer to the season. But Dallas makes the playoffs.
Probably.
With that,
you think they're 7 or 8?
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be weird with the new division systems. That's what I look at before I make the playoffs. Hopefully, NHL 14 will come out before then. I'll be able to do a nice little sim through of the season, so I can.
I think it's coming in early October. I'll double check that.
Anyways, as long as I get some sort of indication of, I'll have to read into how the playoff system works, but I'm pretty sure it's the top 4 from each division will make it, in the new 4 divisions.
I couldn't tell you, pal.
Yeah, I know.
I have no idea.
Anyways,
I have 2 more questions for you.
Yes.
Then we'll move on to basketball.
Yes.
Nathan Horton, 7 years. Thoughts?
I'm fine with it. He is like the prototypical power forward that is going to be a nice fit for Columbus. I mean, it hurts this year because of the fact that he is going to miss the first half of the year with I think he's out till mid-December.
Yeah.
With after shoulder, I think it was shoulder surgery.
I think it was it's something. He hurt himself.
Yeah. But you know what? I think he'll be a good fit in Columbus. I always pronounce the GM's name wrong, but he's the first European GM from Columbus. So I'm not even gonna bother. He knows what it takes to build a team. So you know what? I like the move. I'm gonna trust him. And you know what? Horton wasn't he said he wasn't gonna resign in Boston, and it probably worked out better in Boston's favor this way. But you know what? I think Horton will be a good fit in Columbus, and he wanted to be out of the spotlight, and Columbus isn't a place that puts a lot of focus on the Blue Jackets. So I think it'll be a good fit for Columbus.
Agreed. And one more question. Tim Thomas. You think he plays this year?
Someone's going to give him a shot. I don't know who, but you know what? By the time training camp rolls around, I imagine he'll be on a roster fighting for a spot.
I thought so. And there's no release date yet. It just says September 2013 for NHL.
Yeah. So we'll get a handle on it, guys. Don't worry. Oh, quickly, Kovalchuk going to the KHL. Funniest thing. It works out perfectly for everyone involved.
Yep. Devils get out of that ginormous cap hit.
It's gonna bog them down. It'll hurt New Jersey this year, but really New Jersey wasn't going anywhere this year anyways.
Yeah, especially with Brodeur. They're gonna have to start changing as soon as Brodeur retires next year.
Well,
Corey Schneider, yeah.
They got Schneider at the draft, so that's a great. And it's funny how much the price tag dropped for a Vancouver goalie. Last year, the rumors were that it'd be either
everything in a kitchen sink.
Kadri or Bozak, another player, and a first for Luongo. And now New Jersey just ends up giving a first
pick, which is still a lot to give up.
It is a lot to give up, but at the same time, comparatively, It's not.
The great thing I love about that deal is you trade Snyder, you trade him to another like all-star caliber goaltender. You still gotta sit behind him another year.
But Brodeur will be this should be Brodeur's last year.
Yeah, he can. If you trade for Snyder this year, you have to expect that this is probably 98% going to be Brewer's last season.
Yeah.
Unless they make some kind of crazy push. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. Especially with Kovalchuk gone.
Yeah.
Unless they become like a turtle team and they score like 1 goal a game and shut every team out.
Yeah.
They aren't going anywhere.
But yeah, they get out of the cap hit. Kovalchuk gets to go home to Russia, make a lot of money. He becomes the face of the KHL, which is great for Russia. And you know what?
Start the exodus back there, every Russian player.
Exactly. It just frees up a lot of flexibility for New Jersey to build out however the hell they want to build their team.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, we'll switch over to the basketball. NBA.
Yes.
They've had their draft recently.
Yes.
Canadian went first overall for the first time ever. Sorry, Andrew Wiggins, you are a year too late.
Let's just take a second to recognize the fact that unless something drastic happens this year in college basketball, Canadians will go number one back to back.
Yeah, crazy.
That is remarkable for Basketball Canada, and providing we because we're Canadian, we can get these guys, convince them to play for the national team. They will have a very, very good team for future competitions.
Oh yeah, I don't know about U.S. level, but
no,
possibly bronze medal is team.
No, not a bronze medal.
In a couple of years.
No, because you still have to go through Spain and Argentina and Germany, and China was developing for a while.
Yeah, but they're starting to age of those teams.
True, but basketball has become such a global sport now with the popularity of the NBA and the dream teams, and the Olympics are making a huge run with basketball stuff. It's going to be hard not to.
I agree.
It's going to be hard to, but you know what? Canada basketball is definitely on the rise.
Yeah, I agree. So we got that out of the way. Big trade draft day between Brooklyn and Boston.
Yes.
Thoughts on that, Mr. Basketball Expert?
Oh, I love it. I love the shakeup. It's like it sucks that Paul Pierce won't retire as Celtic.
Yeah.
But that team, as the Nets with Prokhorov money, when you have the chance to put on a front five of Deron Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Brook Lopez.
It's pretty solid.
It's fantastic.
Question now.
Okay.
You know what's coming. Do they have enough to beat the champions?
Oh, to defeat
to throw in the heat. On a hot day like this.
Let's see. This is the problem that I got in 2 years ago when I broke down by position why I was convinced Oklahoma City would beat the Heat in the NBA Finals. Because Deron Williams will school whoever is at point guard.
Oh God, yes.
The Joe Johnson Dwayne Wade matchup.
I give the Johnson.
I give the slight edge to Johnson too.
Wade's breaking down.
Exactly.
Especially after another year.
LeBron, no question, at 3.
Yeah.
Depends on what lineup they go with if they play small ball. But Garnett can help defend LeBron at the 4 too, and Lopez is not a good rebounder, but neither is Chris Bosh. So it'll be a very good series if it gets to that.
Yeah. Wait, so you're having Paul Pierce come off the bench?
No. Because if Miami plays their small lineup, LeBron will be at the 4.
But in your hypothetical lineup, you just said you have Paul Pierce starting on the bench then?
For the Nets?
Yeah.
No, Pierce is at the 3.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, over LeBron. Yeah, my bad.
No, LeBron. But see, when it gets to that, LeBron is still the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And I could just see him, because Pierce has lost a step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an understatement. So I don't know. I still see Miami coming out of the East next year.
No, I agree.
I mean, it's hard not to. Like,
Did you see the rumors of LA loading up for 2 max contracts next year?
Yes, I
Potentially
did.
making a run at possibly the greatest free agent class to ever come out.
Yes,
Again,
yes, I did. And it makes perfect sense for Los Angeles. They're not like they're essentially going to have a year without Kobe because he probably won't be back until the All-Star break.
yeah.
So they're not going to be a great team next year again. So why not just instead of loading yourself with bad contracts like other teams try to do to fix holes, why not wait a year, get in position to get yourself a LeBron or Carmelo, and then
Bosh, any kind of
well,
star player.
let's not put Bosch on the same level as
Well,
LeBron.
I meant Bosch is like a second guy because he had 2
Yeah,
max contracts.
but they're gonna need their heir apparent with especially like Kobe is old.
Unless they're tanking for Wiggins, which also a possibility.
Let's talk about Wiggins for a second because I think LA is making the right move not signing
Kansas?
anyone. Wiggins wants to play for Toronto.
That's not gonna happen.
He said himself he wants to play for Toronto.
Not gonna happen.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen this year.
Maybe one day after his first contract, but
Yes.
I think I
Toronto
say it's for every Toronto team, but I think they can sneak into the playoffs. I love the signing of Tyler Hansbrough.
Oh, of course you do. Everyone in Toronto is going to love Tyler Hansbrough.
He, as you said, he's like that.
He's going to annoy everyone on the other team. He's essentially going to be Ty Domi on a basketball court.
I was gonna say he's that Minonori Kawasaki. He's that Charles Oakley. He's that the guy that Toronto just down and dirty, just loves working, gets the crowd going. He's a junkyard dog.
Yes, exactly.
He is, and considering his splits, he only plays like 20 minutes a game, but he still puts up like 8 points. Like if he starts,
he does.
He can put up 20-10.
But he's not going to start.
He's not going to start.
We have a pretty solid starting lineup if you look at it right now. Of I blanked on the point guard name.
Kyle Lowry.
Thank you. Maybe because I'm still missing Jose. Anyways, Lowry, DeRozan, Gay, Amir Johnson, and then Valanciunas.
Wow, have you seen Valanciunas play this summer?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that kid is a stud.
He is, yes. And then
he is gonna if he's playing as well as he does in the summer league, he will make the All-Star team this year.
And then, yeah, that's a
prediction right there.
He won't be a fan pick, but he'll be a coach's pick for sure.
I 100% agree.
I like if that's how he's gonna make the All-Star team. Anyways, and then you've got Terrence Ross and Hansborough.
Yeah.
Coming off the bench.
Yeah, Toronto's pretty stacked on the bench actually.
They are. They got a pretty nice bench.
Let's just see. So I'm just gonna take a look and see what their entire
and
depth.
Now just signing DJ Augustine today.
Yeah.
That is a good move for them. I liked him when he came out of Texas. He went into a bad situation in Charlotte, and then he didn't really develop there. Then last year kind of just sat around with the Pacers. But I think
David West took that spot. And he was not giving that back.
No, he didn't. David West did not take any spots away. A power forward. Augustine's a point guard.
Sorry, I meant name's blanking.
From Hansborough.
No, I'm talking about in Augustine.
Are you thinking George West?
Yes, thank you.
Not David West, George West. No, George Hill. We got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Anyways.
This is Tim and Sid. This sound effect going off.
I can just see the comments.
Yeah.
If anyone actually watches it.
Yeah, the entire one comment.
Yes.
Which might be just us.
It'll probably be us saying, we're sorry for putting this up. Anyways, I think they'll have a pretty solid bench.
I agree.
They will probably make the playoffs.
What did you think of the Andrea Pasta Noodle Bargnani trade?
The Andrea Primo Pasta Bargnani?
Yes.
I've become okay with the trade. It took me a while at first to get down with it because I was like, why Camby? Why'd they sign Quentin Richardson? But we bought out Camby, which kind of you
knew that was coming.
I overlooked that for some reason. We bought out Camby.
You knew that was coming.
When I didn't hear that Richardson has an opt-out a team option after the year one for 2 more years,
He
So
might not even come up to Toronto as well. There's rumors that he
there you
might be
go.
bought out as well.
And Novak will be a fine
So
addition.
yeah, that's a great 3-point shooter off the bench right there.
It'll be like what happened with when we had Jason Capano. We could they could space the floor very well. He opens up the lane a bit for our slashers, DeRozan and Gay. So I think it'll work out in the end. And the pick 2 years from now, if the Knicks lose Melo, they're a
Yeah.
bad team.
I don't know about bad. They're a very, very, very fringe playoff team.
Think about it, because Amari will probably be traded soon because they're gonna try.
No, Amari's a free agent next year as well.
Oh, he's a free agent next year. Okay,
Yeah, they both are.
Okay, so my mistake. But they might.
So they could also reload. The Nets could reload with LeBron if they want to. I doubt he'll go there, but they could.
But they might trade Amari this year.
Yeah, to get something for him.
To try and free up room to re-sign Melo.
Yeah. Well, he's already almost at a max contract, anyways.
Yeah, I know, but this way they can attract someone that fits with Melo's style around him.
True.
But Chandler will be old. They don't really have a point guard as we speak right now.
True.
J.R. Smith? Where did J.R. Smith went somewhere? I'm pretty sure.
J.R. Smith. Sorry, I'm looking it up now.
No, he resigned. My mistake. He resigned for 3 years. I should have known that. Anyways. But then your leading offensive player is J.R. Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you couldn't see me do my grimace there because I didn't say anything, but...
Well, we could all hear it from me and you.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, what about the other big signings that have happened? We have Dwight Howard to the Rockets.
That's a great fit.
We have Andre Iguodala to the Golden State Warriors.
Another great fit.
And Tyreek Evans and Jeff Whitley to the Pelicans for Grievous Vasquez and 2 second-round picks.
Sorry, who are the Pelicans again?
New Orleans.
Yes.
And then Robin Lopez to the
Trailblazers. About that, by the way.
I don't know. Some people might not. I forgot they actually changed the Pelicans.
So,
by the way, that is a great name.
Let's do this rapid fire. Oh, and don't forget, Josh Smith went to the Pistons, inexplicably.
Yeah.
Howard
and Jefferson to the Bobcats.
Howard in Houston makes them a top 4 team in the West.
Still don't win out.
It depends on the playoff matchups, but I think they're a top 4 team in the West.
I still think it's the Thunders to lose. Yeah. I don't think Spurs are going back there.
You have
I constantly doubt them. So
you got 2 top 15 players in Harden and Howard, especially if Howard can get back to even 90% of what he was before his back surgery last year, then he led the league in rebounds last year.
Yeah.
On playing like 70%. So Houston is definitely a team to watch, and they've got a very good young core. Andre Iguodala.
This is the deal I like the best out of every deal.
It's fantastic.
Warriors $48 million playing Golden State.
Fantastic fit for him.
That is gonna be a run and gun offense.
Exactly. That team is gonna be
my goodness
exciting to watch, and Iguodala can play some D too, which will help. What else?
Curry and David West and.
What else was there?
You got the Tyreek Evans deal.
I think Sacramento is just a bad place to play basketball.
I feel sorry for Vasquez. I like Vasquez a lot. He's an assist machine. Too bad he's gonna have no one that can score for him. So.
Well, the good news is he'll make a pass and somebody else will take a shot, because that's what hurts Sacramento so much, is that it's a black hole everywhere on the court. No one assists any. No one passes the ball around. Which, you know what? With Tyreek Evans, you're gonna have this is in New Orleans now. You're gonna have Tyreek Evans. You're gonna have Drew Holiday. You'll have Anthony Davis and probably Nerlens Noel midway towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
that's a very good core moving forward. It might not mean they make the playoffs this year. Next year, you never know.
Down the road,
yeah.
Robin Lopez to the Trailblazers.
Yes, that's fine. The Trailblazers needed that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you got Jefferson to the Bobcats.
That's a team that could make a run.
Who would ever thought we would say that?
Well, to be honest with you, there's only the only teams I see not competing in the East this year, and by only, well, I don't really see Atlanta doing anything because they lost Smith
Yeah.
and Milwaukee.
Really?
Sorry, Milwaukee won't go anywhere, and Orlando won't go anywhere this year.
Yeah.
Anything else from 6 to 8 is
Can all
sorry,
change,
from
yeah.
6 to 12 is probably open.
I agree.
So,
Oh.
what?
Oh, I was just looking. We also have the Eric Bledsoe deal.
Yes.
Eric
Yep.
Bledsoe and Caron Butler to Phoenix. Jared
Yes.
Dudley, JJ Redick to the Clippers, and 2 seconds to Milwaukee.
That is fantastic for the Clippers. Getting a pure shooter like JJ Redick, who can just spot up, open up, give Chris Paul some options as he's cutting through the lane.
Sorry, before you go on, Chris Paul also resigned 5 years, $107 million.
Yes, Chris Paul. It's going to be brilliant for them. They'll actually have some shooters to surround him. He'll play. They'll play with now Doc Rivers, the coach there. They'll play exactly like Rondo, Garnett, and Ray Allen. With
Rest in peace, that combination.
With Paul, Blake Griffin, and JJ Redick. It's going to work out very well. They're going to run the same style of offense, just running Redick off screens for threes.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic for them. But I think we need to wrap up because this is getting close to an hour long.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
If you've listened this long, congratulations. You're probably our best friends.
You're going to hear...
We're probably going to send you money
yes.
for listening to our voices for an hour.
Yes. Anyways, so we are done for now. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know what? Please subscribe. I just posted up a Road to Glory video the other, depending when you're listening to this, a couple days ago, probably, or yesterday. Anyways, I already posted it. That'll be a series I'm doing. Follow us on Twitter. The link's in the description of the video. For Sean McDermott, I'm Brett Smith. Tune in next time. Hopefully it won't be another 4 months between podcasts. Talk to you later.